Do you have a habit you want to break? You may have tried many times already to break it, but for some reason you have always gone back to it. Well, today I will be sharing with you the most effective way to finally put an end to your unhealthy habits. First, if you are diabetic or someone you love is, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel. My mission is to help others reverse their diabetes holistically so they don't have to live with it for the rest of their lives. And if you want to be notified when I post new videos, turn on notifications as well. Most people believe if they just quit a habit cold turkey, they will eventually not want to do the habit anymore. But this is actually far from the truth. If you stop a habit but don't know what causes you to do the habit, and even worse, you don't replace it, you will most likely go back to the habit. This is because bad habits provide some type of benefit in our lives, and our body and brain get used to that dopamine release when we do it. So if all of a sudden you are deprived from that dopamine hit, your body will still have a craving for it. This is why you shouldn't simply quit a habit, but instead you should replace it with something else that gives you the same feeling. The first and most important step in ending unhealthy behaviors is to know what triggers you to do them. A trigger is what causes something to happen. This can be anything that leads to an emotional reaction, like memories, objects, people, stress, or trauma. To pinpoint your specific trigger, we need to talk about the 3 parts of a trigger: the cue, the routine, and the reward. A cue is what sets off the trigger. So let's say you have a stressful day at work, and to make yourself feel better, you eat some cookies when you get home. You emotionally ate, which gave you a dopamine hit and made you feel better in that moment. Now, every time you feel stressed, you may get a craving for sweets. So let's talk about the routine part of the trigger. The routine is the action you take as a result of the cue. If your cue is stress and you usually eat sweets to relax and relieve stress, then that is your routine. And the reward is the satisfaction you get from the routine. So when you eat the cookies, that is your reward for a stressful day. The reward is what gives you the dopamine hit. Now that you understand how to figure out what triggers your habits, let's discuss how to interrupt them. Most of your habits are a result of stress and boredom, and you start them because you want to feel better. And like I said earlier, all of the habits in your life benefit you in some way, even if they are bad for you in other ways. They are all ways of coping with stress. Because bad habits provide some type of benefit, it is often difficult to stop them cold turkey. Instead, it is better to replace a bad habit with a new habit that provides a similar benefit. So instead of just trying to stop eating cookies after work, it's easier to break the habit by coming up with a different way to deal with stress. You need to plan ahead of time what you will do instead when you get stressed and want to eat cookies. Maybe when you feel stressed, you could go for a walk outside or have a coloring book sitting on the kitchen counter so coloring becomes your new reward. Whatever your trigger is, have a plan for what you will do instead. The next thing I suggest for you to have the best chance at overcoming your habit is to cut out as many triggers as possible. If you eat cookies when they are in the house, don't buy them. If you get triggered to snack in front of the TV, find something else to do with your hands or read a book instead. If certain people trigger you to drink, distance yourself from them until you feel more in control. When your habits are out of control, your environment makes your bad habits easier and your good habits harder. Change your environment and you can change your outcome. And the other advice I would give you if you are struggling to overcome a habit is to have a plan for when you fail. We all slip up when we're working on a new behavior, but instead of beating yourself up or quitting, plan for what you will do instead. What will you do if you do eat the cookies after work? My advice is to enjoy them, move on, and try again the next day. Give yourself grace in these moments because if you've been doing this habit for years, it's going to take time to break it. Your new habits will get easier the more you repeat them. And if you're looking for a step-by-step guide to overcoming your habits once and for all, I created a course just for this. In my Cravings to Confidence course, I take you through the 4 steps that I took to break my sugar addiction and finally feel in control around my favorite foods. If you're interested in learning more about my course, the link is in the description box. I would love to know your biggest takeaway from today's video. And if this information was helpful, please like it and share it with someone you think would find it helpful too. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Monday with a new video.